Welcome, one and all. Love them knives here. What are we going to do? We're going to dye some scales. How come? Because I said so. It's about time to do something creative. And I got this Begleiter XL from White Mountain Knives because it's an exclusive of theirs. And Justin was going, hey, I had some made with white scales, and I'd seen that. It's kind of like, if it had been a black blade as well as all the rest of this, would be the Imperial Trooper version, right? But no black blade on it, which is fine with me. It's fine with me. But I have this one, okay, and this was the tan or the brown in micarta one that he had as an exclusive, okay. And so I dyed this, and it's micarta, and I dyed it with red dye, which it's brown, so it kind of tends to make it more of a maroon type thing. And then the color is not exactly uniform along here. It's not bad, but even on the back, kind of a little mottled or something. I don't know. But, and then that's micarta for you, isn't it? Sometimes maybe not the best medium to dye. But, oh, by the way, if you go on Mojave Outdoors, and I'll give you the link to that, by the way, down below, but they have Begleiter XLs as well, but they got them in like black micarta, and they got them with black blade as well as whatever, blah blah blah. So technically, if you get one of these from White Mountain, then you could get the XL with the black blade, black micarta on Mojave, and you could flip the blade, and you could have an Imperial Trooper one. I mean, you could make yourself one, but just saying that now it's not just White Mountain with the XL Begleiter. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I am going to, and I don't want to do another Begleiter XL video, but this is G10, okay, and it's white. It should be pretty easy to dye, okay. And so I've got different colors that I'm going to use, and I've got to decide. Okay, I just got up and got the bottles of dye from the shelf on the other side of the room because, oh yeah, it might be interesting for you to know what I'm thinking about. Okay, this is tropical teal. You've seen me do tropical teal before. Tropical teal does not turn out to be this color most of the time. It turns out to be kind of a bluish greenish color. Okay, so I've always liked the effect that this will do if you get a light enough um, color that you start with like a very light tan, like almost this. But I don't know that this will do well with this. I mean, so I got to make up my mind what I'm going to do next. Royal purple, and this is not royal purple, thank God. Royal purple gets dark. It gets dark to where it's almost a blackish purple, and that's just, then there's no point. Why did I do that? I want something that looks purple. And so, okay, this is an idea. I've never tried this before, and this is all purpose. This is not for the synthetic. What does this say? This says synthetic. Okay. And you know what? I've never really realized a difference between the two. Okay. This is also all purpose. This is denim blue. I was thinking about this for the white one. Okay. I mean, if anything might turn out reasonably decent, it might be for denim blue, it would be something that would probably start out this color. Although this is hard to say no to because this is sapphire blue, and then again, this is synthetic as well. But the sapphire blue just looks so good. I mean, I've done it on a beluga, petrified fish beluga, and some other knives, that it just really turned out excellent. This is a blue, but it's not super dark like navy blue. Navy blue is another one that looks almost black, but this is not so light. I'm really worried about how this is going to be, but this, I think, this will be a stunning blue. This would be really good with this, but I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna do violet on this. I think I might do this sapphire on this. Oh, Vendetta. I'm sorry, Vendetta from Dagger Knives, which I'm trying to figure out. Do I want to do my review on this first and then dye it, or just dye the damn thing and then do my? I'll probably dye the thing first. Okay, then tropical teal. Definitely, I want to take a shot at one of these in natural. Oh, okay. And by the way, you didn't see the whole line. Okay, there's 4 in natural G10. And I thought, I've got 4 different colors. So maybe we ought to try, a different color in natural G10 to see how they turn out as well. So maybe sapphire, the violet color. This is already done. This is done. This is not going to be anything other than what it is. But violet, sapphire, and then we're going to go sapphire, denim, violet, and tropical teal, and see how they turn out. And I have a feeling we're headed for some semi-disastrous shoreline, but we'll find out, because I don't know that denim's going to go well on here, but I don't know. And violet, I don't know either. You've got kind of a greenish base here, and how that's going to do with the violet, I really don't know. I think the tropical teal will do something and will look decent because it's already kind of a greenish, and it'll be influenced by the green. Okay, all these colors will be influenced by the base color, and they're all going to be influenced by the base color. Hopefully not much influence, because this is white. And this is micarta, which makes it a pain in the ass, and it can be modeled. It can be funky looking like this one. It might be darker, lighter. It might have spots and weirdness. And there's just so many people go, well, first soak it in this kind of thing, and then power brush it, and then soak it in something else, and do this and this. You know what? I'm just going to take the scale off, and I'm going to keep them dry, because I don't want to get them wet necessarily. And so I don't, because I want it to absorb the dye. I don't want them to already be wet, but I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, I mean, micarta, I think it's trickier. I think it's tougher to get a consistent look. So if you really want to go dye some knives, well, take a look at this video and take a look at other videos I've done, because I've done videos on coloring the scales of knives 3 or 4 other times with various results and various base colors. And then you will know, you'll have a better idea of what you want to do. All right, I'm going to put all my scales in this pot. And then I thought, well, this is Windex with vinegar and this and that. And I thought, this kind of looks a little not as lily white on the outside as it does on the in. But I mean, I'm just thinking, I got little bits of stuff and some dirt, this and that. This might be good to kind of just squirt these down with that, and then maybe lightly scrub them up with a brush or something before I put them in the dye. And maybe this will be better than just soap and warm water, because people were talking about vinegar maybe being helpful regardless. So I don't think it can hurt anything. I might as well try it. I'll scrub them down a little bit and then rinse them off, and then I'll be ready to put them in dye. Okay, let's start out. We got two pans on our electronic stove. No natural gas in this community in Florida. Okay. Let's go sapphire. And I already shook this up. This is the sapphire blue. So I'll put that much in. That was an exact measurement, scientifically calculated. And then I'll put violet, which it looks kind of dark on its own, even, you know, when you think about royal purple being really dark. Okay, probably enough. And so maybe about a third of the bottle is what I'm doing here. And I think that was the royal. I mean, that was the violet, and then this was the sapphire. So, I mean, they're right close to boiling. So, that looks about like what I would like that to look like. Here's sapphire blue, which I don't think we're going to mess it up to worry about here. Okay, and that's kind of okay. Not too intense there. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these scales from the Begleiter XL. You going into Boiple, and you're going to go there for at least 15 minutes. We'll hang you over the side. I don't have any of my other wire there, so I'm just using twisty ties. What else? We're going to try, okay, we're going to take the Bestech Ornetta G10, and we're going purple with you too. Okay, we're going to try 2 sets, natural G10 and white. We'll see how that turns out. And then, you know what? I want to do sapphire blue. Okay, so I'm going to go sapphire on the Vendetta. Let's all have a prayer. God only knows what they'll really turn out to look like. And we will use natural G10 scales. Now, for this and this, we're going to go denim blue and we're going to go tropical teal. So this is our next round, but I only got 2 pans right now that I can use, so I'm allowed to use. So let's do these scales, and then we will check to see how they come out, and then we'll try denim blue, tropical teal, and see how that goes. All right, let's see what we got on the sapphire blue. And these were the scales that were the micarta scales for the Vendetta, and I'm gonna drag these over real quick and put them in this pan, in this water to kind of rinse them off, and take a look at them and see what I think here. And they look really dark. They look really dark. We'll see when they dry out if they look this dark and under different light, but they look very dark. So obviously they took, it wasn't a problem of them absorbing the dye at all. Okay, so there they are. Now let's try our natural G10 scales. And that looks a little bit more like what I was hoping. Right there. To get that kind of a blue. So I think that's more like what I was looking for. And you can see them next to this. Yeah, definitely. These are definitely darker. Hopefully when they dry out, they will have a blue, tinge to them. And so they will look blue, they won't look black. If they look black, then so be it. Then we got to see what we're doing on the purple, and I don't know. I looked at them just quickly, and I'm not seeing them take really anything here. I mean, that does not look, that just looks like it's kind of catching them on the edges. It's not really, and look at these white ones. Not really doing it. The insides of these scales are really slick, really like sealed up. The outside scales, they're not getting all that much either. So I'm going to let them sit for a while, but I don't know. I don't have much hope that that violet was dark enough, and you would think that's enough dye to make them this color instead of just a washed out, like just like a almost like a purple wash. Okay, so we got rid of our sapphire. So we're going to put in the tropical teal, and we'll see what that's going to do. We're just going to do one set of scales in this, and then we're going to do another set of scales in our denim here when we get a free pan to do it. I'm going to throw in some tropical teal. That should be enough. That's probably a half the bottle. So that'll get her done. Let's stir it up a little bit. But it ain't gonna look like that, I'll guarantee you. When you go with a natural G10, it is not gonna look like that. And let's see. Let's do the Sachse, which is the Sencut Sachse. So it's a button lock. Let's see what she's gonna look like. Well, she all went under. I guess we're gonna dig it up and see what it's gonna look like here in a little bit. This is like the all-day deal, isn't it? Okay, so didn't know it was going to take so long on the purple, which is still sitting in the other pot. This is the teal. See, it's not a blue because it's on the face of that kind of G10 jade green. And so it doesn't turn blue, and I don't know what media it would turn blue on, but see the blue that's kind of coming off there, but that's not what this is going to be. It's going to be like this. And it's just like a really deeper jade. Check it out. Okay. There's a difference between natural G10 and the tropical teal. That's what it looks like. Okay, so there is a substantial difference there, but it's not that kind of bluish that you would think it's going to be. Not with that natural jade as a base. At least that's not the way it's turning out for me. I mean, feel free to comment, but that's as far as she's going to go. Although that's nice. I mean, it's nice because it's kind of a translucent-ish, emerald green, really, which is kind of a nice break from just the baby puke natural G10. So, I mean, there is that charm. Now we're going to try and dye this in that denim blue. Good luck with that. Okay, here comes the funeral dirge. Ba, 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 ba. Violet. Put violets on my grave because I can tell already that's gonna somehow that ain't hanging fruit, is it? And these have been boiling for an hour, so maybe if I boil them for another 24 hours, I'll still be a complete fail here. Look at that. You can still see. Oh my God. This is not working at freaking all. Hold on. And I threw the whole bottle of dye in here, and still negatory on that, good buddy. Let's see what we got here. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing. I mean, this is a rusty fail. Rusty fail. Okay, let's try that. Let's try the white ones. Oh, they'll turn any color, says LTK. No problem. And look at that. Oh my God, another complete and utter failure. Whew. Look at that. I mean, if we put them into royal purple, we'd probably get down with it, but this is just horrible. Look at that. That is not the lovely violet that I was hoping to get. Because royal purple is so dark, it's almost like black. And then you go to a violet, and this violet is not making it at all. So, might have to cook up a pot of, I don't know, maybe sapphire blue and throw them in there just to say, what the hell, we got to do something. And I don't know how they're going to be now that we got this. So, we'll see. Okay. In the immortal words of Tri-State EDC, let's have a little prayer here. Hollow be thy grind. And let's hope denim blue looks better than the violet does. Woo! I put half that bottle of denim blue in there. And of course, the denim blue is a all-purpose. And don't be preaching to me. Oh, well, that's all-purpose. That won't work on synthetic. Yeah, I mean, normally it does. Normally it does. So I don't know. It's just, what are the base color of the scales? What kind of grain is on them? How absorbent are they? I mean, I've noticed that you get a lot of scales that are light gray or light tan, and there's a really fine, nice grain to them, you know? And then sometimes you pull them out, it almost looks like a wood grain kind of pattern, but it's really nice and absorbed overall. But I mean, I think it's the grain of the G10 as well as the base color. And you got to figure out where you're starting from and where you want to get to. And a lot of people ask me questions, you know, can I take these black scales and make them white? Or how about a bright yellow? You know, and it's got to think about where you're starting from. You cannot go lighter. You can go darker. And when you go darker, it's going to be a combination of the color of the scale plus the influence of the dye added together. So, or at least that's the way my experience. I mean, I've done this like freaking 8-9 times, okay, or more, whatever. So, and I'm gonna let these just sit here and have at it. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I don't need it to full on ass boil, but I need to be at a low boil or just at boiling point, just below maybe. But for at least 15 minutes, and then check them. And some people have done that in 10 and go 10 minutes was enough, and that's all I needed. You know, I get to the colored tint I want, I'm done. Okay, and I get you. So let's go. Let's see what denim blue does. Okay, denim and G10, and this was going to be, this was that Kizer LP, I think. And let's see what we got. Yeah, I was afraid that wasn't going to be very effective either. Yeah, they never really colored up. And then I threw the Ornetta, whatever, that failed violet thing in there, and that's not coloring either. So, now, that's a complete fail. Okay. Final act of desperation. Went right back to the sapphire blue. We're putting our rejects in. If they don't know how to turn color, they need to be punished. So we're going to put all these. Here's my denim blue ones. Isn't that a lovely transformation? Oh, does that look like natural G10? That was a complete fail, and it was pretty much. I don't know. I could have boiled it for an hour. I don't think it's going to take. I don't know what the deal is. The sapphire is a synthetic dye, and this worked as well. So the sapphire and the tropical teal worked. Okay. The other two that were used were the denim all purpose and the violet, and both of them were general purpose, but they should work on nylon. And so if they'll work on nylon, of course, I think it's just how porous. And these are real slick and glassy. And you know what? This not a lot of texturing here. This was more textured. This, I'm surprised, didn't take better. And we'll see, because you know what? You're in, buddy. Tough luck. And you are gonna. And then, you know what? The lot of them need to be put into the pot. And let's see. Okay. Are you happy now? You better come out blue or I ain't letting you out. Let's see. It's starting to boil, so I think it's hot enough. Okay. There you sit for at least 20 minutes, and we'll peak, and then we'll just keep on boiling you, whatever. Let's do something. Actually, I don't need to do that thing. I can just grab a hold of these little... And I'll look around the camera. Let's burn my fingers on the side of the pot. How about that? Great idea. Okay. Sapphire blue seems to be the only color I seem to be able to work with these days. Sapphire blue. Hold on. What is in the pot? I'll tell you here in a minute. Okay. And see? I told you I was surprised that the Bestech didn't come out better than that, but it didn't absorb the purple or the violet. But look at that. Look at that on the sapphire. Not a problem at all. That is frustrating as shit. Okay. Well, at least I saved it from there. And then this is that. Is this the LP? Yeah, this is the LP that I tried to destroy in denim blue that never turned out. But how about that? You know what? If you like blue, why don't you think about sapphire blue? Okay. Now, what is this? Oh, yeah, that's my Kizer Doman. Where you been? Now, I saw a big old smudge over here that I smudged on the micarta, and I just said, hell with it. I threw the whole knife in the boil pot. The whole knife. Good thing it's 154 cm. It'll never rust in 100 years. That's a lie, of course. Okay, let's put that on the towel. That really soaked the dye in, didn't it? Woo! That there looks like black, but as it dries, I think it will come back to a somewhat blue. Now, Begleiter XL, that's the one that started this whole shenanigans. Let's see where we are. Do we have blue or do we have a total fail on a white G10 Begleiter? Let's hope we don't have a fail. And it looks good. And it's hot, actually, coming out of that boiling water. Oh, yeah. See? I got something wonderful. Now, unless you like white, this is pretty good. Okay, so in conclusion, where'd you get the 1985 stove? In collusion. So we got this, and so these are the scales. These are the micarta scales from the Vendetta. And see, they're dried now pretty much, and that's the problem I've got with micarta. It doesn't have as consistent a color spread there. On the back actually looks better, doesn't it? And of course my hands are wet, so now I'm really screwing it up. Okay. And then this is the sapphire. And it looks good. Okay, sapphire blue. Looks good there and there, but a little lack of it in on this area. So maybe time to throw that back in the pot for a while. Screw you. Okay, because that was a sapphire to begin with. And then this is that tropical teal, which it's okay. It's just kind of an emerald green and wet hands all over. All right, we're back after that complete. I don't know. You're probably scratching your head. I'm scratching mine. I really am. It's I wanted this in violet, and then I was going to try and do this as well in violet, and they just didn't take. I'm a natural G10 here, and this was white G10, and I figured white, I can do anything, and it's got a pattern on it. And it was really strange because I've had these kind of G10 with this kind of general pattern on it from Bestech before, and threw it into all-purpose dye and no problem. And no, it did not take at all. It was like too closed of a material to really absorb. But look what it did on the sapphire blue. Weird, huh? And so, I mean, it's one of those things where you just finally decide, okay, what am I going to do here? I mean, I got to try and either salvage it or to hell with it. And it looked nasty on the violet. And so put it in the sapphire and let it boil, you know? And so here it is. So it's a little darker. And then the LP, yeah, looks good, doesn't it? Okay. So that's sapphire as well. I mean, whatever went sapphire blue worked well, and everything went sapphire blue, including the Vendetta, this is a real, like the Kizer denim series, that kind of denim blue micarta that's kind of got a fuzzy, worn feel to it. And that's what this does. So, in other words, you don't get a real consistent, or I didn't get a real consistent color. I mean, some little splotchy look here or there. But then again, a lot of this, that kind of weathered micarta look of this kind of material tends to kind of look faded in some places and darker in others anyhow. So I'm going to say, okay, it's good enough. And it worked, but such a strange difference between sapphire blue and sapphire blue, right? Real strange. And here's the Brazoria sapphire blue. Okay. And then that denim blue did not take. It was just too light. It wasn't penetrating. And maybe it is the dye that's made for synthetic, which was the tropical teal. Okay. And this is on the Sachse, the Sencut. Okay. And then the rest was the sapphire blue, and everything else ended up in the sapphire blue pot because it didn't take anywhere. This, I just got disgusted at the final end, and I had this knife laying there because I've been using my Doman so much for opening boxes and doing a lot of stuff. I mean, I'll kind of latch onto a single knife for a few weeks and just kind of use it around the house continually, right? And so it was sitting there. I just said, to hell with it. And I threw the whole knife in the pot. And actually, it's micarta, and it turned out pretty damn nice. So weird. And you know what? I have not taken it apart since. I mean, I dried it out, but I haven't even put any lube on it since. And it is, super, still super drop sheddy. I don't know what's going on in that pivot, so probably later take it apart. But I mean, ceramic bearings, so what's going to happen? 154 cm didn't look like it did any harm. Very strange. And I had done this before, not putting it on camera or anything, but I had thrown an entire knife into the die and done it before, and it worked out. I'm not sure I'm going to recommend this method to anybody, but hey, you as lazy as me, you can always try it out. And what do you got? What do you got to lose? I mean, you got a dome in here. It's not an expensive knife. And what are you going to lose, really? I mean, the worst it comes down to is take it apart, put a little bit of WD-40 or something, wipe off the rust thing or any little surface smears that you might have, if any, and lube it and just put it back together. I mean, no real harm or foul there. So, and then the Begleiter XL. And I really wanted this to come out well because I thought this would be the Begleiter button lock that I would like to keep, as opposed to, just having this one. Of course, this is micarta. And of course, I did that in that cherry red or whatever the hell it was. And then here, did I do this backwards? It was weird. I think, if you look at my disassemblies, look at this. And look at this. The entry in the front. I looked at this on my video when I started my video on this, and you know what? This was in the front. So I don't think there's a difference here if you turn the pivot around or you don't. I think either way is fine. But this did not take the violet color at all on white G10, but it sure took the sapphire blue. I mean, it looks pretty reasonably decent. I mean, I guess if you get way into it, you can maybe see a little uneven in the color, but wow, strange. And of course, the Kizer LP, which looks, I mean, I like this pattern here. I think that's a good pattern. I think that colors up. Like I was saying, some about the wood grain kind of look where little rings of darker, lighter. That really seems to take really well. So it's amazing. And then, of course, this was supposed to be violet as well. And now it's almost a navy. Strange how that kicked like that. But so got a blue Ornetta G10 as well. So we've got a lot of stuff here. And you know what? I told the wife I'm not going to do another dyeing video for quite a while. I don't think she was too thrilled with the dye being all over the damn kitchen. I'm going to let you go. I thought it was kind of an interesting adventure. I mean, I'm still experimenting, and you guys can experiment too. And it's, when you use like a $40-something knife or whatever, I mean, it's kind of like, what do you got to lose? I mean, at least you got a lot to maybe gain in knowledge with different kinds of dyes and with different techniques, that kind of thing. I washed all these down with a vinegar type solution, cleaning solution first before they went in, except for this one. I just tossed this one in with the other knives. So I don't know. Go figure. That's my adventure in doing this. Quite the motley crew we got left over. Take care, my friends. You know what we do around here. We love them knives. So you guys, stay sharp.